Why, hello there. Welcome back to the City of Mist. Post-combat, post-wall scraping, we are now at a new crossroads. Allow us to join our investigators as they decide what to do next. Oh, hello. Sup? Alright, to quickly pick up where we last left off. It is still technically nighttime. Xander, you have contacted father and family. They will be here relatively, well, as soon as they possibly can, of course. We have to, one funny thing in the City of Mist is we have to sort of, this isn't in our world, so, like, are they in Europe? I don't know. Probably not. Is there a district in the City of Mist that's basically Europe? Yeah, that's most likely the case, as opposed to them flying overseas. Because guess what? You don't leave the city, unless the city is just really big, like the size of two countries. Fun to think about.
Is that true?
You cannot leave the city. The entirety of City of Mist exists within City of Mist.
My god.
The city is that big. However, the thing is, it's not that you're not allowed to leave. Your character literally can't even comprehend leaving unless you are effectively done playing the character and you choose to, as a level up, basically see through the mist, which like forces you to leave. There is not a reason for it. Yeah, there's not a reason for it in the book, but basically it's something that you can decide like meta-wise. So the reason can be different at every table, which is super interesting, actually. Of course, there could be other cities. Maybe you guys are in a bubble, whatever it may be. There's a literal mist around the city. Who knows? You know, everything out there just sucks ass. So you don't want to. Maybe it's a Blades in the Dark scenario where there's literally apocalypse outside. So who knows? But regardless, yes, that is the case. So they'll be here in a reasonable time. The city is gargantuan, so we shall see. So you mentioned, Xander, you're going to basically stay with this tower, give it the good old look up and down. To be super clear, now that you're messing with it, you know this will take all night just to scope things out. But when the family and other folk get here, it'll basically be an all-day ordeal dismantling this thing. And you know that your helpers can indeed help, but you basically need to headline it because you have a thorough understanding of what's going on here. And knowing what they know and knowing what you know, as in your amulet is like giving you insight, it'll be much easier to dismantle this thing if you are here. It'll just be incredibly difficult, but extra hands will always help. So, with Xander at the abandoned tower, currently alone and not in danger, I promise, Roxanne, Radiah, and Moira, it is night. What are you all doing?
Homework.
Perfectly boring. Realistically, it is late, so you don't have to do anything in particular. This could just be pure roleplay of like, I go to see my boo, or I go to do homework with my little brother.
Homework with my little brother. He's teaching me some stuff, by the way. That's how smart he is.
Nice.
I'm still punched, so can I like just rest?
You're punched. I'm feeling very punched right now.
Feeling very punched right now, and I would like to feel less.
You most definitely can, yes. I do not recall. I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already reduced your guys' harm because I'm pretty sure you were punched too, considering you guys just got out of a fight. So I think I already reduced both those by one.
Okay.
What do you do to relax though, Moira, after this escapade?
I'm gonna read a murder mystery.
You said read a murder mystery?
Yeah.
Perfect. And Radiah, how about yourself?
I am eating some cake to reduce my kicked one.
You know, same.
While tinkering with potions.
I can go over with that. I like that. Alrighty. Fortunately, we had a rough night, but a much less rough post night. As we read our books, study, eat cake, and in Xander's case,
I beg to differ. This is definitely a rough post night.
Fortunately, you're not responsible
I'm talking about
for the homework. You just need to watch him be smart and help occasionally.
No, I'm doing my own homework too.
Oh yeah, shit. Good point.
You're doing basic addition and subtraction.
I am not.
College numbers. It's a very special class for Roxanne only. She thinks she's an advanced course because you're the only one in the class. All right, taught by your little brother. Anyway,
I mean, it is online. You never know.
Oh, true.
Going back to get an education, and I think that's very valuable.
He moonlights as a college tutor while you help him. What a twist! Alrighty, so yes, night is fine. We all do as we indeed tend to. And Xander, you basically just spend a night in the abandoned tower. Morning rolls around. We're all feeling much better. By this point, Xander, you've gotten some texts and some calls effectively saying, we'll be there at like pre-noon, basically. and for the day, they'll be able to assist you. So being a little split up as we are, what would realistically Roxanne, Radiah, and Moira like to do for this day? At least the morning portion.
Or were there any things from last time that we can follow up on?
Realistically, there are quite a few. I don't know if I want to mention anything in particular, as if to give it away.
But Master of Ceremonies, my brain is non-existent.
True. In terms of, I can remember.
True.
Well, it's okay. I'm here to give brain. Listen, just like our raid team, we all sell. See, I'm already messing the sentence up. Just like the raid team, we all share one brain cell. I couldn't even finish the sentence because you were currently using it. I need it real quick, please. All right, I passed the brain cell. Anyway.
like a hot potato.
Basically, yes. Alrighty, hot potato is passed around, but realistically, the three of you can do whatever you wish. Of course, there's just hitting the streets to check things out, but I will say you guys do know a good portion of everything that there is to know for the most part. You can follow up with individuals that you wish to speak with. I will, as I mentioned before, be very, very, very blunt whether or not they have any information. So if you go to speak with Marvin and he actually has nothing to say, I'll just let you guys know that yes, you chit chat with him, he gives you some info, but that's basically it. If you have a particular question for him, you can always call or, swing by and ask. But in terms of people that are more willing to talk, I'll let you know that Andre will call and or request your guys' attention at some point because you literally knocked the demons out of his head, so he's more clear now. Obviously, there's Gale. You guys don't really have a way to reach out to Reg, Mr. Albright.
I don't like that I can't get a hold of him after that whole phone call.
Debacle.
The whole debacle. Where he tried to hit me with the righting wrongs as if his sense of justice is superior.
I mean, that definitely is a point. Realistically, as long as the thing you're trying to accomplish is doable, I can say yes or no to it. If I obviously wouldn't have you roll for something if the outcome is already no, there'll just be no roll. I'll just say, you could start this, but it'll basically end in a dead end. But if you want to try hunting him down, I can start a tracker to sort of find where he is, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, can I do that?
Sure. In terms of rolling, I would just say, realistically, just roll me investigate, then rather than asking questions. So this is the funny thing about, doesn't matter what you roll. You can roll go toe-to-toe, convince, investigate, doesn't matter. But we are literally investigating, trying to find where he is. So you can roll that, and I will use your tier. So actually, yeah, roll me go toe-to-toe. Basically, you're trying to find him while he's hiding. And he's obviously not going to punch you back physically, but we'll use that middle tier of hit him with, damage, if you will, as effectively starting a new status tracker to find where he is.
I guess I'm not actually asking questions. No, I guess I'm asking where he is.
You definitely would be, yes. So in terms of trying to find where he is, yeah, investigative journalism is basically everything there that logically makes sense, of course. This is rather sensitive. So definitely
Would this be risk of being fired?
Yes, definitely use the weakness tag risk of being fired. And also, I'm not going to make the tag now, but choose one of the negative statuses. I would call it elusive because you do not know where he's currently located. So choose any one of the negative story tags, make sure it's red, so it's a minus, and we'll treat that as elusive.
Well, could have been worse.
A 9 is very good, actually. So go ahead and add attention to investigative journalist, which will indeed level you, which we can poke later.
Woo-hoo.
Yay! That's a very I like easy weakness tags. Alrighty, so
I kind of like using them.
It's definitely good. Looking at all this, though, you used for positive tags, investigative journalist, asking questions. Press pass wouldn't play in here, so I guess that's fine. So we have, unfortunately, only a status of 1, which isn't the end of the world. I will put it on. I'll put it on him. I'll call it found. So currently he has found 1. The more you put into that, the higher that will go, of course.
All right.
So, regarding all that, this is essentially going to be what you do all day. It obviously doesn't dead end, but it's
That's fine. I love the thrill of a chase.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a chase. You don't have no idea where he is. You have a multitude of leads. Roxanne mentioned last time, can we look for more towers, such as the one that we found? You most definitely can. So we can say that also helps you.
And I would like to do that.
Excellent. Basically, roll me the same thing, if that's the case.
Remind me what I'm rolling.
You're rolling any of your tags that will help you find abandoned towers, effectively. So whether you're asking or sending out your shadow boys, basically choose one avenue.
Aha, this is what my tracking tag is for.
There you go. So you're using your shadow boys to track. Use every tag that is associated with that, and then with this one, also one negative tag. So whichever negative tag you want to use, just one. Yeah, you don't need to worry about your.
Can I use mystery media as hints of where to look?
Sorry, use what?
Mystery media.
Oh my god, I didn't know you had. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mystery media.
Yeah. Where to be the most likely location for this sinister building?
Yes. Sorry, so much alliteration. I was like, what the hell are you talking about, girl?
And can I also use hidden vantage point since I can sneak into places dark and unknown?
Darkness. Yes, you can.
All right, and for the negative, I feel like my shadows might play some tricks and pranks since this is a big business and they're going to get bored.
They'll be looking all day. That makes sense, yeah.
And what is it?
Toe-to-tap. Works the best. All right, perfect. Oh my god. Go ahead and add attention to the boy who is, which will also level that. I also just realized you leveled everyone will remember, but didn't actually pick something, so we need to do that at some point as well.
I did?
You have two, yeah. So you see where it says attention +1? You've leveled your mission and your conjuration now.
Oh, I totally didn't notice.
All good. We'll give it a poke later. Just remind me. Oh, hey, you live with me. How convenient.
OMG.
Oh my gersh. Okay, so with this, we rolled an 11. No negatives, no downsides. Let's see, though. You're looking for another one of the towers. I would say with that, you indeed do find another abandoned tower, effectively in the same exact shape as this one. We'll say it's relatively... it's somewhat off the beaten path. I'm going to put it on the tip near the Rose, which is to the east of Candy's Diner, coffee shop, Radia coffee shop, dark and sensitive, etc., etc. Just across the way from the apartments that Andre and James currently live at. So you did find one. It's off the beaten path. It's definitely pretty far. But you're able to find a second. It is almost identical to the first one you found, so I won't bother describing it too much. Abandoned tower.
Does it also have a secret locked room?
Yep, that's precisely what leads you to believe, oh hey, same thing.
I will text Xander. To let him know, hey, I found a second one.
Alrighty. You're able to do that while he's, of course, still trying to...
He's going to hate that text, isn't he?
Yeah, unjuice this one. So, a lot of work. Basically, Xander can start it and help quite a bit for this first one. But the second one is it's just more work. It's a lot more work. But that's fine.
Okay, and one more thing before I forget. I wanted to ask my secret sponsor if there was anything he could do for Gail's partner.
I'm trying to remember. Didn't you already do that or no?
No, I discussed it with you after session.
Okay. So effectively, pocket that, write it down. You can do that tomorrow because it'll take you basically all day to find this abandoned tower, which you did indeed do. So marked on the map, you get a text back from Xander basically saying, yeah, still working on the first one. You can most definitely do that, Roxanne. We'll do it in just a moment, of course. Radia, are you doing anything in particular on this day? Technically day off.
What should or could I be doing? I've been thinking this whole time you guys were doing your own stuff, and I still don't know.
Realistically, if you don't want to do anything, you can just say you're, spending the day at work, chilling, relaxing.
Running your business.
Yeah, running your business. I mean, that is part of who you are. If you have, as usual, any questions, you can always ask me and say, hey, I had a question for Marvin. Can I text him real quick? Or I have a general question about the city. You can do that. If you honestly don't, you don't have to force it. It's perfectly fine.
You know what? I could run the business, but send out little care packages, treat packages to one Marvin, one Andreas, and one James.
You know what? Perfect. They would greatly appreciate that.
That is so incredibly Radiah of you.
I love that. And I'm trying to think. Moira's the one that shotgun spams her phone number to everyone.
It's true, yeah.
This is indeed true.
I assist. It is very true.
Yes.
I feel like Moira actually has like a burner phone that's her real phone that she only gives the number out to like 3 people.
Smart, actually.
I believe that, yes.
So let me just retcon that in. You guys probably have that phone number, but literally almost nobody else.
And with all that, fortunately, Radiah, you do have an express delivery system that only some people can see. So Dragon can easily hand those out with no issue. Moira, while you are looking into the location of a very particular individual, you do get a text from Andre, effectively saying, "Thank you for the help. I feel as if a cloud has essentially been lifted from my mind. I feel much more clear now that he's had time to recover."
I text him back, and I'm like, "That's why I do what I do, man."
He also says to thank Radiah for him. He's going to spend understandably, a day of downtime to just relax because got smacked around by, I don't know, some random people. Shit happens. It's weird.
I'm like, you deserve a rest.
But he does mention something that might be useful to your crew.
Okay.
So he does say that during, obviously he made a deal. One of those deals was to, and he did mention this before, watch the tower, watch this particular tower. If anyone tries to get in, you have to stop them. That is part of the deal. Because it was in the middle of nowhere, he agreed. We clearly saw that he literally lost himself upon following this order. So he lets you know that, but he no longer feels that, like, urge, I guess, now that he's been exorcised. He also lets you know that he was given an order, effectively, to look into Kevin Cardwell. He's not very good at that, though. Snooping, effectively, what you guys do. But the 2 major things he was told to do is watch that tower. You'll be needed when you're needed. And also, if you could try basically digging up some dirt on good old Mr. Cardwell, the guy currently running for governor.
Who has a good reputation.
Amongst the public, yeah, he has a great reputation. Everyone loves him.
Yeah. All right. I asked if it's okay to pass it along.
Oh, he wants you to, yes, 100%.
Okay. I pass it along. Did he find anything about Kevin Cardwell?
So unfortunately, his skills don't really lean towards that, but he does know for a fact that other people were most likely in on it as well. Maybe either, he saw some names and faces that might have looked somewhat familiar, but decided not to poke his nose in. And as a sort of follow-up order, if you could, bring me this information. I have something essentially to tell Cardwell. He wanted to, quote unquote, talk to him about Bradley, Philip Bradley specifically.
Okay.
So any information linking them or something.
Wait, about who, Bradley?
The dead guy, Philip Bradley, the guy who was found burned in the beginning.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But
okay.
Andre couldn't find jack shit, so that's all he can
Don't
give
worry,
you.
we've got people on that.
Do you have any other questions while you have his attention?
No, I mean that's the relevant information, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I'll just be like, all right, I'll pass it along. Thanks again. Rest up, feel better.
Perfect. He lets you know if you guys need anything. Not that he can offer much, but if you need something, give him a call.
And I'm like, no hard feelings though, by the way.
He understands. If anything, he thanks you again, not just for, what you did, but sort of a weight was on his shoulder that has now been lifted. He's still angry about his boss. That whole general situation just sucks at Lending Way. But he feels a little better, just slightly. Almost as
good.
Yeah, like there was a voice in the back of his head constantly, urging him on and building up the anger. And you guys have subsided that ever so slightly. So
nice. Yeah, I'll pass it on.
Perfect.
The information, obviously, not the. Yeah. I don't know. Not the private information. Private, whatever. But yeah, okay.
All right, and regarding Roxanne, while you're looking for said abandoned tower, you're going to actually run into an individual somewhere near the night about the time you find the tower. So you locate it in the same way that you do. Scale the tower, weirdly empty. This one's a little more dilapidated than the other. Top floor, as mentioned, completely locked down by magic. You essentially have no way to get in besides strong-arming it, but we know Xander can get in. He's still working on the first tower, so we pin this. But as you leave the tower, Roxanne, to go do as you will, it's not midnight, but it is late, 7 or so, a little past dinner. You hear someone nearby the tower. Someone shuffle or move about.
I follow.
You don't need to follow, because you get a strange feeling that this person's been following you.
Oh, in that case, I'll lead him to an alley and catch him off guard.
You don't need to. What you're doing is not necessarily obvious, but it's a trick they have indeed seen before. So as you're pulling this off...
The alley chick?
Yes. As you're pulling this off, you kind of, you start to go down, you lay the bait, start to slowly reel them in, and after a while you sort of hear a scoff, but not one that's rude necessarily, more of like, oh, okay. And then you hear a voice call out in the dark, say, you don't have to try to trick me, or hide, or whatever it is you're doing, Roxanne. And you don't necessarily recognize the voice, but you've heard it at some point before.
I'll poke my head out. What?
As you sort of whip around the corner, you see, I don't want to say compatriot or use any particular term because you don't necessarily work with this person, but you do indeed see B.
Acquaintance?
Acquaintance works. She works sort of in your same field, I guess.
I see who?
B. I don't want to call her an assassin, but remember the very, very, very beginning?
Oh, right. The mysterious figure that was very deadly dangerous from our heist of the Ambrosia?
Yes, the one who's incredibly confused that you guys were able to do whatever it is the hell that you do.
Okay, I will keep her in view, but step back.
She puts her hands out as if to say, I mean you no harm.
Why would someone of your caliber be following me around?
I had a question for you. You are seemingly looking into the same thing that I am.
And what would you be looking into?
She points her head towards the tower you just walked out of.
I mean, yes, I am looking into those. What about them?
Those as in multiple?
That would be the second one. Miss B.
Bit of a smirk and a nod. And then she says, I hear word in the street you're putting yourself in danger looking into this. May I ask you why?
I think it all stems from the random demon that exploded the shop next door to my place.
Yeah, there is that.
Your
memory has gotten a lot.
Which spiraled off into mysterious runic towers.
I will answer, well, a fire demon nearly destroyed my friend's place of business, and more people are dying, so I'm trying to stop that.
All right, upon hearing fire demon, she suppresses a laugh, but you get the feeling that...
What's so funny?
Terminology is just interesting that you're deciding to use. I think I'm aware of the incident. The, incense shop?
That's the one.
Yes. Fire demon. And she says it as if she's testing the word in her mouth and then kind of laughs again.
I mean, I haven't gotten a good look at it, but there have been little fire demons around certain individuals, so I don't think it's that far off.
She nods at that and says, Understood. Well, this is not a threat, of course, but I've seen some odd things shifting about the streets. Things I can't necessarily explain. You and I sort of work in the same field, so consider this a friendly reminder of, well, just be careful. Watch your back.
Can you give me a bit more details, please?
She checks over her shoulder again, looks over yours, and walks a bit closer, as if to lower her voice slightly.
I tense up, but I will stand my ground.
Just things I can't necessarily explain. Sort of like the little show you all put on at the auction.
Well, I am capable of watching the city at all times from all locations, so does it feel like this? And I'll let one of my shadows kind of peek out of the ground, like their little eyes.
She does not look down at it, but nods slowly.
Okay, well, if it feels like that, then it's me.
Interesting. Well, if there are other people that have access to these resources that you do, and your friends, particularly...
That specifically is mine.
Got it. Well, if that's the case, then maybe there's nothing to worry about. All the same, it would be a shame if someone of your talents were to run into the wrong crowd. So, I guess consider this somewhat of a warning. If I find anything interesting, I'll run it by you.
Sure, I would appreciate that.
As she nods, she says, "You'll do the same for me, I assume?"
I mean, I'm pretty sure you know where to find me at any time. I have no idea how to find you.
Oh, says the person that has eyes everywhere.
My eye skills sometimes need glasses.
She pauses at that, not sure if you're serious. Nods slowly.
I mean, I'm still practicing my skills.
Good. Practice does make perfect. It's not good to sit on your laurels. And with that, she takes a step back as if she has nothing else to say. She lets her palm rest on her weapon, gives you a nod, and says, "Well then, if that's all, enjoy your night."
Wait, where do I find you?
She goes to turn on her heel, and with her back still facing you, she turns, so you can see only the left side of her face. "If you absolutely need to find me, I'll find you first. Yes?"
Sure, I can work with that.
She smiles with that, turns away, and walks around the corner.
B doesn't have powers, right?
Not to your guys' knowledge. Last you guys ran into her, she had no idea what the hell was going on.
And I guess from this conversation, that still seems to be the case. But never mind.
I mean, with no powers, it's impressive that she can sense my shadows.
That's what I'm wondering, though. How can she sense them?
Some people are just attuned to the other world.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, other than that, that's essentially everything that occurs on this day. Xander, by nighttime, unfortunately, things roll back around, and you're effectively, you personally at least, are done with this tower. You can leave your people here. They can mess with what they will and effectively deactivate it. You haven't slept at all, though, so your brain is recommending you get some rest before you even bother looking at the other one.
All right, time to sleep.
In fact, it goes by so fast you almost don't even realize. And after all this nonsense, unless you all have anything to do late at night, Roxanne, in the morning, you can send out that question that you had with the same investigation roll regarding Gale's partner. If anything can be done to help him, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll now. And then realistically, the four of you should be able to, reunite after all this. All right, with an 11, yeah, you get that one clue. And the question is, can we help? So I think I vaguely answered last time, because you guys didn't have enough clues. This time I can more securely answer your question. Upon looking into Gale's partner, your sponsor does indeed let you know that this individual is not well guarded, but it was kind of a pain in the ass to actually get said information, unfortunately. A reminder, the man's name is Eric Westcott. And, well, he is very sick. A reminder, Gale said that Eric wasn't really all that sick. Things were getting better. He should be out of the hospital within a month. You don't find too much about him. Obviously, secret records and such. But to answer the original question of can we help? You guys? Probably not. I'm assuming your secret sponsor is aware of your abilities. They probably have some of their own just to make things easier, because that'd be a little confusing explaining things. Yeah. But yeah, you find two things out. One, he's much more sick than Gale let on. The other thing, he's been in the hospital for a while. There is
Question.
Yes.
Is Gale just putting on like a good front? Or does he actually think that partner's doing better? Or was he doing better and now he's getting worse?
This second question will answer that. He has been in the hospital for quite some time. He's effectively a mainstay there.
Oh.
Yep. So knowing that.
But he's not like in hospice care or anything.
Hospice care meaning...
Like hospice is when you're about to die, right?
Yeah,
so,
like it's
right, when you're like for sure going to die, but no one knows when.
Well, when they know it's coming soon, but they want you to be like in a comfortable space.
No.
A lot of people go home.
Okay, so then no to that one. Essentially, he has been in this same state, is what you're going to find out, Roxanne, for quite some time. He's not necessarily getting worse, but he's not getting any better. And at his age, that's bad, obviously. So you know that he's very sick, he's been in the hospital for a while, and his condition has not really improved at all for a reasonable amount of time to lead you to believe, Moira, that, yes, Gale was putting on airs, basically. He knows how sick his partner is.
Oh, so that's actually really sad. Okay.
Agreed.
Somehow that's so much sadder than, like, being honest about it.
So, Roxanne, you'll be able to find this out relatively fast, sometime in the morning. So your group can easily get back together and, do as you will for this day.
You mean this day, brand new day, right?
Yep, brand new day. You were able to ask in the morning, and your sponsor was able to get back to you quickly. So you already know all this.
Oh, before I forget again, did that teenager get in contact with Moira yet?
You mean James Kratt? Is that the teenager?
No, the high school teenager, not the college teenager.
Oh, you mean the one who you had the ghost girl?
Yeah.
The son.
Spencer, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. So if you're looking to see if Spencer has reached out just yet, I would say he has. Did you just say, like, for hangout or what?
Yeah. Anything to smooch him up.
Sure. Maybe there's a party or something coming up and he's mentioned that. He didn't get your name.
I don't know her name. I will come up with it later, but yes, she'll attend.
Quick, get the Ouija board.
Wow. Roll for Ouija board?
Roll for Ouija board? I'm a master of seances,
I'm a master of ceremonies. Perfect. We can say realistically, Roxanne, you didn't give your name to make it more mysterious, and you just gave your number.
Sure, that works.
So because of that, nameless mystery girl has been reinvited to a party.
He still hasn't asked her name, though?
She didn't give it, and he wasn't...
she's probably being coy about it.
Probably.
Or does he think that she did tell him, and he just doesn't want to ask her again, because that would be embarrassing to a girl that he's trying to date?
Yeah, maybe.
To be clear, you gave him Moira's number, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there unfortunately there is no communication. He's been completely nothing until recently, where he basically texted you, Moira, thinking you're a nameless girl, effectively saying, "Hey, there's a party coming up if you want to, swing by."
I do let Roxanne know right away.
I mean, I also had nameless girl hang out with you, so
Did you?
awaiting that message. Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you telling me
You've had a
there's
ghost
just a
companion,
shadow,
didn't
like a
know it?
little
Yes.
ghost, just hanging
Yes.
out over my shoulder while I'm trying to
Yes.
do my research?
Yes.
While I'm trying to relax and read my murder mystery?
Yes.
All right.
She's reading too.
Yeah, she's probably reading whatever beside you.
In the corner, like over my shoulder, she's like, that's not how I died. It doesn't really work like that. Depressing. What did you expect?
Alrighty, in terms of what you guys want to poke at next, or who you wish to speak with, what are we thinking?
Well, I think that we need a plan on Ghost Girl going to the thing.
Party-wise, we can say it's going to be a reasonable time. Realistically, because we're kind of not necessarily stretched thin, but we're working on a multitude of things. We can say it's tonight. Yeah, tonight. Why not? Which is why he reached out to you.
Dang, boys, short notice there.
I'm like, can't you give a girl time to get ready? Jeez.
It's an exclusive party. Very exclusive. You just found out.
Are his friends going to be there? Like the ones who were...
Do you ask him that?
Yeah, I say, who else? I say, oh, exclusive? Who else is going to be there with the eyes emoji?
You know the crowd. The coolest of the cool. That crowd. If you mean my friends, yes.
Oh, the exact crowd I want in on.
Yeah, that is actually the exact crowd. I'm like, sounds good. See you there. And then a wink emoji.
Excellent.
Role-playing a teenager is uncomfortable.
The bread is buttered.
The bread is buttered. Ugh.
Alrighty, so you have a party late sometime tonight, most likely starting at around 9 or so. So you guys have all day to do whatever you'd like. Talk to whoever you'd like. Who we poking? What are we doing?
Well, I still want to see if I can get any closer to finding where Reggie is. Good old Reg.
Sure. You want to spend the day doing that, basically?
Yeah. Except until we have to do the stuff with the party, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where I feel like I'll have to be on.
Roll me that exact same thing.
Okay.
Before you roll this, Radiah, what are you planning on doing for the day?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Roxanne, I'm going to ask because one of you can help Moira, which will assist her roll. If you have nothing particular.
How about I do some research while I'm in the cafe?
Yeah, come on over. You want got a pot of coffee, or is like you want me to
give
bring some
a pot
coffee
of
over to you?
But it's really a potion, and it's like Adderall.
You wanted to buff you with potion?
Yeah.
Would it not be
With
useful for me to
hyper-focus.
come
All
over
my
to
brain synapses
where all your
are firing.
over to you where all your research stuff is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. So first, Radiah, roll me your basic change the game potion mixture.
So, alchemy toolkit. I have something for that.
Probably just those two. That makes most sense.
Okay. Hitting the button.
7. Excellent. Alrighty. So with that, we can definitely add some extra juice. We'll say this, Moira. Make it nice and easy. I will not create the story tag. I also will not make you roll anything negative. They'll cancel each other out. So just roll your asking questions like you normally would. Because we get a +1 from Radiah and a -1 from Elusive.
Whoa.
Nice. All right, I'll add +2 to that. He's now found 2.
Nice.
You continue looking into this, and even with your brain rattling and just full of electricity, this individual is either moving a lot or is somewhere really stupid, but you're going to find him regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, you're finding where he isn't, and maybe you're finding tracks and trails of locations that he somewhat frequents for whatever reason.
It's like Clue.
Indeed. You know he doesn't move around too much, though, so hopefully this will help us a bit. During the day, Xander and Roxanne, are you doing anything in particular? Xander, of course, you can hit up that second tower if you want.
Did I finish what I was doing at the first tower?
Yes, at the first tower, all the help that they needed from you is effectively finished, and they can take over.
Okay, I'll go second tower.
Perfect. I won't have you roll for this because you basically know what it is, and that thing is time-consuming and annoying, but you're working on it all the same. Of course, your people will move in after. And Roxanne, prior to party, are you doing anything?
See if I can find another tower.
Just searching it up?
Just searching it up.
All right. Basically, roll me the same thing for investigate.
Same tags or no?
Same tags. It's the same thing, but enough time has passed.
Oh no. So, Xander, I found a third one. Here's the coordinate.
Yay!
Alrighty, I will place this tower on the westmost location, just past the Falzoni Villa. This one took you a while to find, Roxanne. In fact, while it does need to look the same as the others, its location was further than you were hoping, we'll say. And then regarding this, you're able to find it, but then after locating it, jotting it down, texting it to Xander, you realize, oh shit, the party's in like 30 minutes. I gotta skedaddle. I gotta get there quick. Roxanne, dost thou have questions? Or I guess group, dost thou have questions?
Oh, the one question I did have. Does this boy seem like he is withdrawn because he is like traumatized by an experience? Or does he seem like he's withdrawn because he's been told to like lay low by like, you know, his dad or somebody?
Sure. I don't feel like awkwardly role-playing a bunch of teenagers and then having them awkwardly flirt with a dead girl, so...
Yeah, not really my cup of tea.
That's fair, that's fair. So yes, you're able to easily sneak in. Ghost Girl can kind of weasel her way in, and unfortunately only Roxanne can basically have her ask the questions, but we can prime her with what we need to. So, vibe-wise from this kid, I mentioned before, he's trying to put on airs, basically. He's trying his absolute hardest to make it look like, nah, nothing bothers me at all, blah, blah, blah. But
he's actually kind of traumatized.
Definitely, 100%. So you can tell he actually looks tired, so either there was a test or something last night, or he went partying the night prior, again, and just did not sleep. This place is definitely for the affluent, the rich, blah, blah, blah. There is
he
jacuzzis
going to
and
these
shit.
Parties as like a self-soothing method,
It feels like it, yeah.
like a coping mechanism.
Effectively, yeah. This one in particular, this friend or whoever's running it, whether they're here or not, their domicile is quite a bit nicer than the other one. They're trying to keep the party inside as much as humanly possible, but loud teenagers, that does not last long. Someone's gonna go outside and smoke and or drink, jump in the pool, and just be loud. So eventually, it'll of course have to come to an end. Or not, who knows how noise complaints work in this specific neighborhood, but trying to squeeze as many questions out of him as you possibly can in the time that we have. You discover that you maybe try asking certain questions, Roxanne, and he like speed bumps over them. He'll start to answer it and just kind of, nope, other direction. And you can very much tell that he's trying to keep his mind active. He's always talking about something or touching something or talking to someone else or trying to show you something, trying to show the girl something.
Is there anything that she can do that would encourage him to open up that isn't like being weird and like getting him drunk or something?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I feel like she probably could, but she had to approach it very carefully.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in her. I think she's been doing really good. And we definitely don't want to make this kid's experience in life worse.
Yeah. I'll ask you, what do you want to know precisely if we go down this route?
I want to know more details on what really happened.
Okay.
And what happened in the aftermath.
Actually, I'm also wondering if maybe he's getting threatened by anyone or thinks he might be watched.
In danger?
Sure. You don't have many tags, then you only really have one, Roxanne, regarding your chateaus interacting with people, so just roll investigate with that or those tags.
All right, I suppose I can also whisper stuff to help her out, because they're all friends and whatnot.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do with this is that's a 5. Big ol' goose egg. You will still get your answers, though. We're going to stumble forward wonderfully. You're able to get him to open up, whether it be due to flirting or he's already getting drunk, so you don't need to, sneak any more alcohol into his cup or anything.
We would not do that. That is
of
definitely
course.
Creepy.
I mean, yeah, you literally said it. I don't want to do that. So
me, oh god, just the thought.
Yeah, you don't need to cross into like weird territory with this kid. He's already trying to drown his potential sorrows. We'll say he eventually gets to the point in general where he's willing to talk with you and you're willing to listen, but you're not being too pushy, primarily because you're realizing he's going to talk anyway. So as he continues to just, word vomit everywhere, you discover that he's not really being watched or followed or anything along those lines. You get the feeling that, and I would say, Roxanne, you kind of just know this based on your power and the vibes you're getting from him, that the reason he is acting this way, and I guess what he's hiding and holding away, is literally just trauma of seeing. He definitely did bully Aaron, but he probably wasn't. There's a line between bullying and bullying. There's like real life bullying.
He was like softcore bullying versus literally trying to.
Yeah. There's bullying where I'm like, wow, that's not great, and then there's like webtoon bullying where I'm like, all right, come on. The webcomics, where they go so far, I'm like, all right, this is like supervillain shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the point where they're just one-upping each other. Where it feels
like,
kind of,
all right.
Yeah, where it feels kind of unrealistic. That's kind of, at least you get the feeling, he's that kind of person. He seems nice, probably stuck up his own ass a little bit, but you don't think he'd go as far as the group did, basically. He did not want that outcome. So you can tell that's affecting him. You can also tell that, his dad was just torched. I don't want to remember that. That's not great. So that's not really helping too much either. I will say maybe during the conversation, he lets slip that Owen, so Kevin Cardwell's son, is maybe acting out a little. So he'll mention, like, Owen's here currently, but he's able to peel away from him. So maybe he'll mention, like, oh yeah, with the kid gone, you'll notice he never says Aaron's name. He'll bring up the kid occasionally. And Owen is distraught in a way where his favorite plaything is gone, basically. But also in a way where he doesn't really say his name either, to the point where you don't know if he's mocking or if he doesn't actually like the kid's obviously, dead. He's been dead for a little while. So he'll say like, hey, where's that one kid? And you actually see it brought up again. Yeah, you see it brought up again at this party. And the way he responds is like, dude, he's dead. Why are you acting like this? So that's making him super uneasy as well. Yeah. So those two things combined, the fact that his dad's dead and this thing went as far as it did, and Owen's kind of pushing him to continue what we're doing, but maybe find a new mark. And he jokes about it. We'll find a new friend. He keeps joking about that a couple times, which makes him super.
God, that's so messed up.
Yeah, it makes him super uneasy. So he's during the party, at least, he excuses himself to get a drink to get away from Owen, but like, oh, I'm gonna go get blitz, bro, and they're like, hell yeah, man, or I'm gonna go jump off this thing. So anytime like the conversation gets serious or Owen wants to actually like talk to him or bring something up, rather than the conversation continue to go, he excuses himself by doing something stupid. And you notice this happens throughout the party, basically.
Well, that's a little depressing.
Am I getting vibes that I'm going to need to watch out for this kid's potential future shadow?
Potentially.
Like he's going to kill himself?
No. I more so think you mean putting himself in danger. He'll accidentally.
Either or.
Yeah.
I would like to argue that deeply destructive and unreasonably reckless behavior is in its own way.
Slightly. If you're not looking after yourself and you're going this far to, do really, really dumb shit knowing that you're doing it, yeah, it's not great. He's not in a good spot. For you, Roxanne, though, I'll say you're not getting, like, death vibes from him, I guess, if one were to get that. But we'll say part of the hard move. We'll say he's too loud. Maybe he says a few things far too loudly. And maybe someone hears this that shouldn't hear this.
Who, Spencer says it too loudly or Owen?
Not Owen. So Spencer is a little too loud with what he's talking about, a little too meandering with points of conversation, to the point where you don't know this, but we'll just say people overhear what he's talking about, and he's going to be talking a little too much.
But wasn't they were trying to keep that kind of stuff quiet, right?
Yes. So the fact that he's being this loud is definitely no good.
Will people know? I guess nobody knows who the girl is.
No, not necessarily, and they're going to forget her anyway. The mysterious beauty at the party, if she even draws attention to herself, which, that's entirely on you, Roxanne. Probably not the best idea.
Yeah, I'm debating otherwise.
Totally up to you. I will say, though, the other part of this hard move is basically you're not going to get anything else out of him. That's it. This point going forward, he's just going to be stupid and loud for the rest of the party until it gets broken up.
Kind of. Can I go ahead and break up the party then? By calling the cops?
Oh no, you're gonna be a snitch?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Look, that's look, okay, pause.
I'm kidding, they're underage.
But here's the thing though. What is an investigative journalist but a snitch?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I mean, like 100% F the cops, but like I am a so it is my job description.
My taxes are going to using them, and I'm going to use them when I can.
But also, I don't think this is a good environment for those kids.
No, it's definitely
and
not.
obviously, they've got rich parents who are going to let them get away with a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, you also get the feeling that whatever officers are pulled by here are probably going to let them get away with just that, a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. So I feel comfortable with that. If I think that we're not going to get anything else out of him.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and let the pigs out.
Sure. The bacon runs free, wrangles up the children. People are sad, but very like cocky sad. Like, all right, catch you guys next time, etc., etc. And they're like, shut up. Like, hey, at least play along. is the vibe that y'all get from the
play along.
Yeah.
Great.
But now by this point, it is indeed late. Xander, in terms of messing with this tower, you will be done at effectively the same time, and then the crew will move over to you, which will be sometime in the morning-ish. So, it being late, party being done, there isn't really much for your group to do, so unless there's something you guys want to do at night, let me know. Otherwise, it'll be tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to sleep, but next day, I am going to want to try furthering my research on getting to Reg. I don't know why I have started calling him Reg.
Probably because I did a couple times.
I think you called him Reg, and now I can't stop doing it.
Hey, Reggie! But yeah, so you can definitely look into good old Reginald Albright a little more. Day rolls over, though. And we have Radiah, Roxanne, Xander, you're able to get some sleep. Is there anyone you guys want to question? Anything you guys want to look at in particular while Moira's doing her digging? Also, you can prep to roll that, by the way, Moira, if you want.
Okay. Can somebody else give me a boost since I already got a boost?
Xander or Roxanne can definitely help, yeah?
I'll help.
If one of them have a way to say, hey, realistically, Roxanne's already been looking around, so she could help.
Yeah, I've been looking around.
All right, well, can you give me a boost, buddy?
Okay, how am I doing the boost?
Roll change the game with however you are helping. You tell me.
And we're trying to find Reginald?
Yes, we're scouring the city. And while you're trying to figure that out, and Moira's getting ready to roll, I would say you get a few more texts in general, like hellos, Moira, from Andre, James, and Marvin over the next couple of days, including today. And effectively, what you learn from them is Marvin's back on his old game, so he's mushrooming and such, but he knows he's clean. He's clean, his boys are clean, he's being extra cautious.
Can I send him a message?
You can.
That's basically like, hey, keep an eye out for me.
Oh, he most definitely will.
Yeah.
And besides that, which you received from Mr. Stop, all three of them let you know that whatever you did, and Xander did specifically, their minds feel much more clear. As if there was like a fog of anger or something always dwelling in the back. And they're remembering more clearly now that when they blacked out, it was this feeling of just a complete loss of control. And you now know that everyone that was at one point associated with Albright were infected by this something that Xander was able to exercise. All of them had this thing in them, but they all tell you of their own volition, all individually, that, hey, I feel way better now, so whatever you did, it worked.
Nice. I mean, he basically, like, exercised, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it was that was being exercised was expelled that way.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, so far, everyone who has interacted with Albright has something not so great in them, from what you guys have gathered.
I think Xander's going to have to start charging.
And with an 8 rolled from Roxanne, she's able to assist you again. Moira, you can go ahead and roll your go toe-to-toe.
Punched. Well, that went pretty well.
It did indeed go quite well. All right, that'll bring him up to found 3. So you're getting closer, but obviously...
Is he getting nervous?
You get the feeling that you're seeing trails of him now knowing he's being watched. And or followed. You don't know if he cares, so nervous isn't necessarily the proper...
I mean, honestly, I think in my line of work, I'm familiar with that, and I literally do not care.
Yeah. The thing is, you're going to find him eventually, and that is precisely what you are indeed.
Yeah, but if he doesn't care, isn't that a problem? Because that speaks to confidence, right?
It does, but, I mean, the only way to... I mean, we have to meet him at some point.
Confidence is a slow and insidious killer.
See? He gets it.
As we all know. So you're able to help a little Roxanne, but you, Moira, and Xander realistically can do what you'd like during the day, while Moira's essentially running about with, we'll say, with the assistance of your shadows.
I'm like a dog on a trail, so
I want to see if I can find another tower in this area.
All right, basically just tower searching. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. Sorry, Xander.
Alrighty, Xander, what would you be doing?
Am I done at the second tower?
Yes. You're free to do as you will. Your guys are going to take over, and then we'll have some information for you after. Unless you want that now. Up to you.
Sure, you can give it to me now since I've been working on it.
Sure. They essentially let you know that with all the information they've gathered from this, they can confirm that, yes, these are indeed 100% a portal or something along those lines. The information that Roxanne is acquiring is then shared with you, which is then shared with them. So finding that there are multiple of these towers, that's not a good thing. That's indeed super bad, to put it lightly. And your father has some guesses and some things that he doesn't necessarily want to jump to, but he will let you know that in the past you haven't dealt with this, but he and his people have a summoning circle very similar to this one. So, keep your eyes out, be careful, and do as you were trained. But this is definitely serious business. You know that anyone associated with this, because you also mentioned that some folk needed to be exorcised, they need to be kept an eye on. Anyone else you think might be infected, however you want to see it, they cannot be running around. They're basically time bombs.
So
yeah,
Gail.
everyone that we dealt with that has fire coming out of them.
Yeah, so you know the three of them, James, Andre, and Marvin, they're clear. But anyone else that's associated with this, whether they know it or not, they're a danger.
Did my father say what to do with them?
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. However you're exercising them, whether it be, the amulet guiding you or just your natural instincts, you're doing it right. Keep doing that.
Roger that.
So knowing that, is there anything in particular
Did he
you want to
say,
do?
like, possibly how many others are out there?
No, he have no way of knowing that. That's something that you guys already know, actually.
Okay, hang on. Is it the 4 names we've been following, or was it everyone who was in the Ambrosia auction?
Only 4 relevant names were brought up that dealt with Albright directly. The auction is a separate incident.
Okay, so Gail.
Pretty much. So while Moira's doing her thing, realistically during the day, Xander, Rediah, and Roxanne, the 3 of you are free to do whatever you'd like.
Oh, I gotta roll, don't I?
You're still looking for that tower?
Yeah.
Roll the same thing. If you can't find a negative tag, I'll throw it on after, but we'll throw 1 on as well for that one. Alrighty, with a 7, that is indeed a success, just barely. Make sure you mark attention there. Alright, long ways away this time, Roxanne. Near a scrap salvage yard, all the way to the north of this map, you find a 4th tower. All essentially identical.
That's not a circle shape.
No, it is not.
Text. Xander, I found a 4th one. Sorry.
I'm gonna huff and get in my car and drive over there.
All right, before you hit the tower up, was there anything else you want to do, Xander? Or basically, you just want to stick to that.
I'll just stick to that for now.
Okay. Realistically, you're you're kind of in the rotation of doing this, so you'll get done a little bit faster, at least this time around. Rediah, how about yourself?
I will set my shop up to get my staff going for the day, go change to go head out to town and go peruse around Timeless Records and a certain other coffee shop just to browse and check things out and look at the area. Not necessarily trying to make necessarily contact, but just to get the feel of the area around. See if anything feels amiss or what have you.
Are you going
Pre-scouting the area.
Are you going into any of them, or are you just looking around?
May browse, not trying to make necessarily contact, but just being a general idea for the area.
Sure.
Getting to know the neighborhood.
Yeah. You swing by during the day, or then
I would say during the day. I might even pop into his coffee shop during the middle of a primetime lunch rush. Just to not be noticed. And just be one of the other people.
Sure. On this day in particular, you notice that he's actually not at Timeless Records, and you actually notice that the coffee shop is currently closed for whatever reason, but it almost looks like it was closed somewhat recently, or they're only open for a little while in the morning, because the full-on, you know what this looks like, gates pulled and all that nonsense. He hasn't fully done that just yet, but it does currently say closed, but you see some lights are still on inside the coffee shop. And in fact, you see a door open near the back to signify that he's probably in the building, just not open.
Strange. Lunch hour rush and it's not open. Interesting.
Yeah, him being closed at this time is definitely odd.
Continue walking down the street and circle back maybe. Maybe he was just late getting started.
As you swing back, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes later, you notice nothing is amiss, but some things on the inside of the shop have been moved and scoot around a bit. The building is still indeed closed. You notice the door that was open is now, it was wide open last time, it's cracked now.
Is there a alley back shipping door?
Yeah, definitely.
I just wander around, maybe see if he's getting a delivery. I guess I'm going to try and make contact. I wasn't planning to.
As you swing to the back, you see that, normally he would be accepting deliveries here. And there, in fact, is a delivery truck, but not for his building. They're about 2 or so buildings down, and they're dropping off some boxes. And then after papers are signed and such, that car drives off. But you do indeed see the back of his coffee shop here.
Door shut, nothing amiss?
Yeah, door seems to be closed and everything.
I get myself out of the alley, so don't be any more suspicious.
Fair.
Now I'm at a loss of what to do.
Do you contact anyone, or are you just kind of hanging out here alone?
Suppose I could send some messages. I don't know. Does anybody else think it's odd that a coffee shop's closed at this hour?
Yeah, it's odd, even for a delivery.
Yeah.
Do we know who owns the coffee shop?
Yes, you know the proper owner, like legally, is his partner.
Did anything look strange about the deliveries?
Not that you can see now. You're not even sure if the truck stopped by his place or not. When she whipped around the corner, it was already on the second building.
Could we pull some strings to find out what was delivered?
If you guys want to, yeah, definitely.
I mean, do I have any contact?
Well, who would be doing this, and how are we doing it?
Well, Roxanne's investigating, right?
It's fluid. You guys can be doing whatever, realistically.
Well, actually, I take it back. I feel like I'm focusing all of my energy on
Jen.
Reginald.
Does anybody else on the street find it odd that the store is closed at this hour?
You probably see one or two people walk by expecting to go in, and they just, without even thinking about it, like pushing the door, and it's locked, so it just bounces off, and they go, whoa, what? They shake it a bit and go, huh, weird, lights on, and then they walk away.
Okay.
I mean, my job is mostly Shadow, go over there. Shadow, go over there.
Sure, I'll text Roxanne and ask if she could spare a shadow to take a look at what's going on inside said shop.
Ooh, that
Like,
works
make
too.
sure if there's anybody hurt or in trouble or things.
Do you want to go there yourself, Roxanne, or just in the shadow?
I'm gonna send my brother in. The
Big
pro.
guns.
Alrighty, go ahead and send him in and roll me sneak.
Haha, Mask of the Mundane. Bump it up a tier, please.
Alrighty, that is indeed a full success. And as your brother is able to very easily sneak in and not fall into some weird crack and just bounce around a bit, you notice initially that nothing is amiss. Moving about, you can tell that the shop was open maybe a few hours ago, closed early, and you can actually hear Gale moving about in the back. Jasper can sneak in as he does, and as he looks about and sets eyes upon Gale, you can see that he is, well, baking, it looks like. But rather than creating, handfuls of muffins and things of that nature, it looks like he is making a singular something. It's difficult to tell what it is at first, but it looks like it's a cake, maybe? It's a very small cake. At most, portion-wise, depending, of course, but probably like a 2-person cake. It's not very large. And he's just sitting back here, listening to music, and just baking away. Occasionally he notices he needs something, and maybe he'll, slip out to the front, grab something, and slip back here, close the door a bit, and then just continue working away. He's just kind of humming to himself, making a cake.
I will text Jaya. He's baking.
Okay.
Can I poke my secret sponsor to see if they had an update on partner?
When you say update, what do you mean?
Like he suddenly went for the worse, or is there some sort of anniversary?
In that sense, no. His status would be the same. So no major updates.
Okay.
Could be baking as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, that's true, but I feel like something would have triggered it if that were the case.
Or a way to forget that, keep himself lost by keeping himself busy so he doesn't think about that his friend is worse off than it is. Doing what he would normally do if his friend was fine. Maybe.
He actually needs a friend real bad.
Well, the shop is closed. He's busy listening to music in the back, apparently. So it's not like I can knock on the door and get in there and be that friend. So.
Who says you can't knock?
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's been hearing everybody rattling the door, trying to think that the store's open.
Good point. Let me in! Let me in!
I will say, in terms of people trying to get in, you do notice that they tried once and then walked away. I don't know if you were close enough to see the inside while that was happening, at least. But if you do want to get his attention, no reason why you can't try.
I suppose I could go up to the door and knock, 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 knock.
As you knock a few times, Jasper's still kind of moving about and whatnot. The music isn't really too loud, so he's actually seemingly almost finished, if not finished. He's putting on the final touches on the cake by the time you end up knocking. And Jasper can see him jolt up for a second as if he's thinking to himself. And then you pause, knock again, and just kind of he turns and sees, oh crap, I left the door cracked, and he looks outward. And you can see him, Radiah, basically staring directly at you. He's got his apron on and everything. He looks around like, I did shut the place down, didn't I? As he's looking about, he left some lights on and goes, oh, shit, okay. Puts a finger up as if to say, 1 second. Hits the back again. Not a minute later, he moves back up to the front of the coffee shop, unlocks it real quick, double checks to make sure it says closed outside. It does, and he nods at that. And looking down at you, Radiah, Gale says, well, hello there. What brings you here?
I just happened to be in the neighborhood and saw it pop by, but I thought it was awfully weird that a coffee shop was closed this hour, so I decided to knock a few times. Seeing a little bit of a light coming through the crack of the door there, and thought somebody might still be around.
Oh, well, it seems you need count me. He looks down and he pulls a timepiece out of his chest pocket, pops it up and looks at it and nods to say, yep, I've been here for that long. Shit. Closes it, puts it back in and kind of, well, yeah, I'm honestly always close today. Something must have slipped my mind, unfortunately. I usually leave the lights off. Was that you knocking earlier? Was that someone trying to get in?
I think there were a few people trying to get in, and as I was walking, got closer, they kind of rattled and left. And
Well, sorry to disappoint them. That's unfortunate, but that is entirely on me. Seeing you've come all this way, would you like to come in?
I don't want to disturb you if you're too busy, but I kind of wouldn't mind. If you're too busy, I can come back another day.
He thinks to himself for a moment, nods, and says, no, it's perfectly fine. You can most definitely come in. Are your friends here, or just you?
Just me. I was just wandering around. Took the day off for myself.
He nods at that. Reaching out, he allows you in, locks the door, turns off some of the front lights at least, and he pulls a curtain or two to make sure not as much light is getting out. It's definitely not late. It's past lunch, so most folk would probably still assume this place is open. Hopefully with the pulled curtains, they will not assume that. And he moves on to the back from where he was. You can kind of hear him stirring about there for a moment. And he whips back up. And he has the cake that he was working on. He places it down on the counter, takes a seat next to it, and motions for you to go ahead and have a seat as well.
Takes the seat.
So what
And
brings
that's
you
a
here?
very beautiful... Like I said, I was just in the neighborhood, and I thought maybe you'd be up and open, and I'd pop in and see what your coffee shop that you've been working at was like.
Oh. Well, obviously we're not currently open, but imagine what you currently see with more lights and music. Well, actually, and he digs around his pocket, and you see that he has his phone. He places it down, and he hits a button on there, and the music he was listening to continues. Not the highest quality, and his expression kind of leads you to believe like, it's not hitting the note I like, but it's good enough. It's the music that counts. Says I can't replicate the rich sound that I can at the record shop or my place, but it'll have to do for now. I'd rather not turn everything on. It might draw a crowd.
Understandable.
You hungry?
Not particularly, but that cake does look mighty delicious.
Thank you.
Is that fresh baked? Is that what I'm smelling?
He smiles and nods happily at that, saying, yes, it is. I make one of these every year, around the same time. Hopefully getting better every year.
Oh, special occasion cake?
A birthday, yes.
Oh, is a happy birthday to you due?
Well, seeing as I'm up in my years, I'd prefer to, at this point at least, avoid birthdays. They're not exactly as exciting as they used to be when I was younger. But no, this cake is not for me. Yeah, it's for, we'll say, someone dearly departed. I made her a cake.
Oh.
It's been years. It's nothing to worry about. I made her a cake every year. And can't bring myself to stop.
Fair.
I think she'd enjoy it.
Well, judging by the smell and the appearance, I imagine she would as well.
He smiles at that and nods and breaks out a little plate, little knife, and he cuts a piece off for himself and slowly just starts kind of picking at it. He takes a bite and looking past you, just up and beyond, he kind of sighs and smiles at to say, yep, nailed it again. So you mentioned how odd it was that I'm closed down at lunchtime, but you got someone running your joint?
Yes, I do.
Oh, perfect.
I made sure they're all set up and ready to go to keep on without me today.
Glad you've got folk you can trust. Very important in life. Hold them close.
It is. I do. They're a good little crew.
He smiles at that, takes another bite, and then he says, you sure you're not hungry or thirsty or anything? I can turn some of the machines on.
Oh, no. I'm quite fine, thank you.
He honestly just kind of sits back, listening to the music, enjoying your company, and just eating at the cake. Do you have any kind of general questions for him while he's sitting here and relaxing? If anyone else has a question, they can technically find a way to funnel it to you.
Yes, because I believe a Jasper's still kicking around here. Yes, maybe?
Yeah.
He's
I'm
just a sweet old man. I don't know how to handle this.
I honestly don't want to overprompt because I am here alone and trigger demon override.
That's fine. You do know that when it happens, it is very obvious. So if you think you have a question you want to ask or an intent, you can always run it by me and I can assist.
I'm just thinking to make more small talk. Basically, maybe, and since today's the special person's, this lady's birthday, maybe get him talking about good memories of her, and maybe we can figure out who she was.
Sure. He seems maybe a little hesitant at first, but
I don't mean to pry, sir.
no, of course. You're very easy to talk to. All your tags you have that are smooth tongue, effectively, knowing the neighborhood, customer service, all that. Go ahead and roll me convince with that.
Knowing neighborhood, customer service.
Oh my god, all right. 14! 6 plus 2. Excellent. You're easily able to put him at ease, Radiah. And after no time at all, he's talking and reminiscing, and the more he talks about this individual, you can slowly piece together who she was, and you're finding from all the activities that she mentioned she enjoyed, you're definitely getting the image of a child. Not a woman, but a girl.
Okay.
And would you be more direct and ask like who she is, or
If he hasn't stated was the reminiscing, who was she to him?
when you ask again, he's silent for but a moment, and he thinks and takes another bite, closes his eyes, and he really savors this one. He's essentially done with his half of the cake, and he didn't touch the other half. And as he finishes it, he kind of scoots the plate to the side, and he says, "Well, silly me, I haven't mentioned, have I? She was my daughter from lifetimes ago, honestly, at this point."
Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have pressed.
He puts his hand out as if to say, it's all right. I've had time to, I guess, come to terms. Then we can always find ways to keep our loved ones alive. He, points at the cake.
Yes, of course. That and just remembering them.
Smiles widely at that and says, Precisely. That and just talking, sharing what they loved, things of that nature. Keeping someone's memory alive essentially keeps them alive.
Indeed.
And you notice that he pushes that half of a cake away, off to the side. And he says, well, we've definitely been here for a little longer than I was expecting. No one's knocked on the door, though, so that's convenient for us. No one bothering us. Are you sure you can be away from your shop for this long?
I check my clock. It's like, you might be on the right. I should go check in on them.
And he laughs at that and says, not that I'm kicking you out or anything, of course.
No, but I should let you be for the rest of your day and have your memories and spend the rest of the day as you would.
He nods at that, smiling. And I need to thank you, Radiah, for allowing me to share her memories with you. I appreciate it, truly.
You're most welcome. It was a delight to have learned of her.
He smiles again at that and stands, showing you to the door.
I will come back on another day when you're open.
Perfect.
And check out one of your coffees.
I was just about to say the exact same thing. Next time I'm closed and you're open, which, from what I've heard, you guys are open quite frequently. You'll have to show me exactly how you brew a cup. I've heard good things.
I'd be delighted to.
Most excellent. To date, then. And with that, he unlocks the door, swings it open, and motions for you to head on out.
I step out, turn back, give him a wave as I continue down the street.
He smiles at you, closes the door behind you, and you can hear the lock click as he heads off to go clean up. Is Jasper still squatting in there? What's he doing by this point, Roxanne?
Yes, I think Jasper would have squatted that entire time.
Okay, is he leaving now, or?
Yeah, he's leaving now. But he was extra backup just in case anything went down.
All right, perfect. You didn't sense any maliciousness or anything from him. Just chit-chatting, essentially.
Poor guy who's probably bored to tears.
Jasper?
Does Jasper like cake or donuts? Am I going to have to treat him to something at the cafe?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Alrighty. But yes, you would have found another tower, unfortunately. Moira, you'd have gotten extra information on Reginald. He's currently found 3. So most definitely getting there.
What are we estimating the number of finds there are?
4 for this one, so you almost got him.
4.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting pretty close unless you know what? I'm not going to say it aloud. I don't want to jinx myself.
Yes, from what you can tell, you are indeed closing in, netting positive. So we are indeed doing
Smell
solid.
the prey animal.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, if you guys want to do anything in particular, let me know. Otherwise, we can roll over to the next day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm done. I need to roll again, so.
Yeah, next day is fine with me.
All right, excellent. As that does indeed happen, Moira, as you're looking around, we'll say you get another call. Not a call, necessarily, but you get some information specifically from Andre. He essentially says that Reginald did indeed reach out to him again. And, I'm not stupid, but this text is a little weird.
What did it say?
It almost leads him to believe that Reginald is aware of what's happening, at least. He seems disappointed, but not angry.
I don't doubt that he does know, though.
Yeah.
Is that what it says? He's disappointed, but not angry?
Yes. His tone is not angered. Essentially, things are going the way they are supposed to go, as we assumed, but we still have our piece. Are you still with us or not, Andre? I do need you to, if you can, find one more piece on Cardwell. You know your part. It'll be going down soon. We're going to question him soon, basically. So do what you will.
Well, you know what? I love the thrill of a chase. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
And since I've gotten a boost from Radiah and San, how about Xander? Can you help a girl out?
Like magic wise, or
Anything. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean, so Radiah brewed me a potion, sort of. Roxanne
counts.
helped her shadows look out for me. So, if you could do something magic-wise that you think would be appropriate, that would be good.
I'll send over a magical drone.
Perfect.
All right, go ahead and roll the tags for that. Unchange the game. And that should effectively cancel out the negative. Excellent. All right, we're easily able to do that. With a 10, go ahead and roll your roll, Moira.
Oof.
Excellent. All right.
Wait, so this is the final one, right?
Not necessarily. So, because, so
Well,
basically,
I don't want to jinx myself.
you're good. Essentially the way it works is because he's currently found 3, you're adding 2 pips to that. So it looks weird, physically on the map at least, but you need 4 pips to go from 3 to 4. So essentially, you'll need 1 more success and you will be at 4, but he's still currently at status tier 3. It's just 3 with 2 pips.
Okay. All right. Now I'm running on fumes.
Very much so. You've been very busy the past 4 or 5 days. And while all that's happening, you're looking closer and closer and closer, and you're seeming to narrow down probably where he is. You're not 100% sure, but you're definitely getting there. Roxanne, Radiah, and Xander, what are the 3 of y'all doing?
More towers.
Looking around, Roxanne, you're not really sure if there are any more, or if there are, they're very, very well hidden.
I mean, the more well hidden they are, the more likely he is to be at one of them, right?
Most likely, yes. But you get the feeling that you most likely won't find anything today, in terms of where you've looked.
Damn it.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm thinking.
So I've already dealt with 3 towers.
Yes, we can essentially see this something happening in the background. So if you ever want to do anything else, Xander, you're not stuck doing that. You can do anything you want.
I mean, I don't really know who I would go visit. And we don't know what these towers are leading to.
They're all pieces to a summoning ritual. By disrupting them, you're stopping whatever he was trying to accomplish.
Do we know what he was trying to summon?
You're not sure, but from what your dad said, Xander, it's definitely bad. So what you are doing, in fact, he sent more people to assist with this. Basically, once you get them started, they can essentially do it for you.
So Dad is high prioritizing it.
Very much so, yes. He mentioned to Xander that this is something he dealt with in the past before, and there definitely should be signs, as there were, of people that are, well, you ran into already one that was defending said tower, and these people should be of utmost priority.
Oh, so we should tail Cardwell.
You can most definitely do that. You guys essentially have all day to poke at it.
Where is Cardwell?
That is a fantastic question. For the most part, he will be hitting the streets, chatting with people, trying to do his absolute best to allow people to forget the violence and, the bad happenings in the city and such. A lot of gnarly shit, effectively, has gone down recently. So he's just hitting the campaign trail, doing his best, shaking hands, kissing babies, that whole deal. I don't know why you'd want some random politician to kiss your baby. I guess in retrospect, that's a really weird tradition, but...
It is a very strange position. I would love to know.
Where'd that come from?
Where did that come from?
That is... I said out loud, I'm like, why do people do that?
Why do people do that?
I think it's like good luck or something.
But you don't know the guy. It's weird.
I don't know.
All right, we're going.
It was done once as a PR stunt, and it just failed.
Those PR stunts will get you.
Honestly, yeah, a little odd. Okay, anyway, weirdness aside, we'll only be shaking hands today. So yes, if you guys want to track him down, it really shouldn't be too hard.
Go, news reporter. That's your gig, isn't it?
Is it my gig?
Yeah, news reporter.
It's
All right.
a politician, right?
Yeah. Okay, wait. Set the scene for me.
Well, are you guys doing this together? Are you going alone?
Well, I mean, I've got to have backup.
I'll be your
Your Huckleberry?
assistant. Yeah.
All right, so I've got my Huckleberry.
Alrighty, so you tell me when you want to approach him. You do know that he'll be going through various meetings and such, chatting with folk, but he'll have downtime, whether he's eating his lunch, going off to the side just to take a breather, or driving from location to location. So you tell me when you want to intercept, essentially.
All right, I think I want to intercept him while he's... Does he have, like, bodyguards?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. I guess I want to choose a moment where they are not, like, in the way immediately.
All right. And in terms of when you're doing this, morning, midday, later.
I'm going to say mid-morning. I want to put him off his game a little bit.
Sure. Mid-morning, he did not get a chance, essentially, to pick up food. Maybe even, chasing after him for a little while. You notice that he just recently got out of a meeting with, honestly, who knows, who cares, but he dismisses himself from his 2 bodyguards as he leaves them outside and says, y'all just chill here. I'm going to go pick up something on the inside real quick. He heads into, just a standard, like, touch-and-go coffee shop. Nothing too major. Probably to pick up, like, a bagel and a coffee and just, get the hell out of there. As he heads in, you see some people go like, oh, hey, and he does the usual, like, oh, I'm just swing by everybody. And you see he enters the line after a few people are like, oh, no, you're so busy, you can cut it, it's all right. He's like, nope, I'll stand in line, it's all good. So he stands in line.
Oh, he's a man of the people.
Oh, yeah, people love him. So you see him just kind of messing with his phone and just kind of taking a quick breather while he's waiting in line. You want to try to, like, jump on him, like, when he's getting his food, or...
Yeah. Well, what kind of coffee is he getting?
He's going to get black coffee and a donut with some schmear on it.
Is he gonna
Donut,
stop
bagel.
to get, like, sugar or something at the counter?
Yes, yeah. So he'll nab his coffee. They essentially throw him a bagel. I don't know why I said donut. Donut and cream cheese would be super weird.
I was gonna say, actually, I was like, what do you mean he's got some smear on it?
No, I mean, maybe he's got his tastes.
His taste is a bagel, but it's made of 2 donuts with cream cheese in the middle.
he doesn't know it's a donut. Yeah, you know what? Sure, he gets a plain donut, puts cream cheese on it, and no one questions
it. An donut, and nobody questions it because he's just so popular.
Exactly. So he does just that. We'll commit to the mistake, and you see him at the the center for
and
flavor
what do people
control.
Refer to him as?
That's going in the notes.
How do they address him?
Yeah, just sir, Mr. Cardwell.
All right, I'll walk up to him. I'll also be getting coffee, coincidentally.
Sure.
And
just sugaring up, just kind of chilling.
And I was like, "Oh, Mr. Cardwell, fancy meeting you here."
He turns to look at you and flashes your smile. Greetings. Not sure have we met? Do I know you?
Well, I'm around. I'm just a journalist. That's all.
You have a face I swear I'd remember, but all right. Are we here for...
Is that a compliment, Mr. Cardwell?
Might just be. Journalist, are we here for an interview or...
Oh, gosh, I actually do not know how I'm supposed to address this. Have I discussed this with, Radiah and Xander and Roxanne?
They're close by, so yeah.
Did anybody have any suggestions?
Actually, yeah, what do we want by talking to him?
So I think it's not appropriate to start asking him real invasive questions. I think that's not the method I want to go with.
Fair.
But I do want to maybe say some stuff kind of offhandedly that will make him
to see how he reacts, maybe a flinch or something.
Yeah, to kind of see how he reacts and to maybe put him off his game a little bit for the rest of the day.
Okay. Are you kind of hitting him with hey, this is an impromptu interview, or I'm just talking? I'm just saying, hey.
I'm just talking.
Sure. Well, you can tell he definitely might look a wee bit busy as you're talking to him. He's not ignoring you, but he is not saying anything as you're speaking to him.
He is polite, which is fair, yes, and I understand this.
After he sugars up, he does motion for you to follow him to a seat real quick. And Moira, go ahead and roll me convince effectively to see how willing he is to speak with you in this particular instance. Fortunately, it is basically 9 o'clock, so you have all week to think of questions to ask him.
Oh, perfect.
So for setting the mood, use whatever tags you would like. Whatever your...
It can only be a couple of tags.
Indeed, you don't have too many. So it really depends on the angle you're going for.
I don't think I'm going to outright ask questions, so I'm going to try... Okay, I don't know if this is too broad.
Basically treat this as effectively a vibe check on how if you're coming off too heavy or...
This is a vibe check.
Effectively, yeah. Because after this, you can ask your questions. This is essentially after you say what you say.
I feel like I could use righting wrongs here because, that's the end goal.
Yeah. If you're coming at him a little heavier, and you're like, hey,
I don't know if I want to be super heavy.
Heavy with intent, not necessarily with your words. Yeah.
Yes. Well, do I really want to use risk of being fired?
No, so you don't have to for this. You're not necessarily asking questions. You're just basically introducing yourself. So you can use investigative journalism, righting wrongs, and if you want to use your press pass, you can, but you don't have to. All right, perfect. Gotta
be honest with you, that was so scary.
You rolled a 12, so we'll be starting on a positive note next session. So definitely spend some time thinking about what you want to ask him. This applies to all of you. So Radiah, Xander, Roxanne, all of you can think of a question you'd like to ask him. You know that he'll be, at least at the beginning of the conversation, very positive. I'll probably have you roll... I might not have you roll an investigation roll, honestly. He'll probably just be open with you unless the question or thing you say to him is...
It's not... I do want to be clear, though, that none of the questions are going to be too pointed unless...
He flinches?
Unless, he flinches. Yeah.
Well, fortunately, you're starting off in a very positive leaf, so you'll be able to see those things quite quickly next week.
All right.